Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Week 4 Prep Rally. I'm Rob Hernandez alongside Dennis Semrau, and we come to you from Verona Area High School, Curtis Jones Field, where our madison.com game of the week this week will be Madison Memorial at Verona. But, Dennis, before we get to that game, we've got to talk about Madison Memorial's game last week, the annual battle for Bert Hobley's clipboard. The Spartans rallied to beat Madison West. 23
points right in the fourth quarter, and Joe Ferguson had a great season opening game for him. Jamar Morris, they hooked up for 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. Jamar Morris ran for over 100 yards the week before, so he's turning out to be a multiple threat for the Spartans.
My area game of the week last week, Nakusa River Valley, the South Central Conference, the Southwest Wisconsin Conference, playing 2 weeks of crossover games, non-conference games, but big games nonetheless. The Papermakers of Nakusa come away with a 29-17 win over the Blackhawks. Alston Kukulka, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dennis, a number of these 6-team conferences have to wait another couple weeks to play conference games, but that was a big one in the medium-sized school division.
Oh, definitely. It was great to see. Again, already in week 4. And for the Big 8, they've been playing for 3 weeks. The Capital Conference, one of those 6-team leagues, is also waiting for a couple weeks to play yet.
Well, we've got some performers of the week to get to. I'll start with my performer of the week, Nate Carrier, the Schulzburg Miners. All he did, the senior halfback, 32 carries, 388 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dennis, he had 3 touchdown runs of 40 yards or more. They win a 54-41 shootout over Peck Argyle. A lot of people on the blog last week thought that was an Arena League score, but it was a 6 Rivers Conference showdown, and Schulzburg needed the win. Nate Carrier got it for him.
I want those guys in my fantasy football league, I'll tell you that. You like the points.
It's all about the fantasy with Dennis here.
Well, we look at my player week, Seth White, quarterback for Edgewood, 14-14 tie with Milton. He ended up breaking away for 42-14 win, passed for 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, and ran for a score. 2-year starter for the Crusaders.
We now switch our gears to this week's games of the week, and we'll get to our madison.com game of the week in a second here. But, Dennis, my game of the week this week has to be McFarland at Walworth Bigfoot. Walworth Bigfoot coming off the big win last week over Broadhead Judah. That was our area game of the week a week ago. But McFarland, a 23-20 winner in overtime over Evansville. A Chris Weedle 37-yard field goal in overtime, the difference in that one. Now, what makes this game so unique is, as you mentioned, the Rock Valley is a conference that, while only having 6 teams in each division, plays their crossover games that count in the standings. So this is a huge game for both teams. For McFarland, the northern half of that conference is going to be no cupcake because you've got Jefferson and perhaps the surprise team of the year, East Troy, lurking in conference play, in divisional play. But then you've got to cross over and play Bigfoot, which knocked off Broadhead last week. For Bigfoot, this is probably one of the 2 remaining big games on their schedule after beating Broadhead. They also have East Troy in the crossover. So the toughest games for Bigfoot will be McFarland and East Troy. And now McFarland has to cross over. No gimmies in the Rock Valley Conference.
No gimmies. And I thought we had a Weedle last year. Didn't we have a Weedle?
I remember that name. He's doing something over at Northern Illinois.
It comes down.
The name escapes me, though.
Right.
Escapes me. A name that doesn't escape anyone, though. Joe Ferguson, Madison Memorial will be here on this field Friday night as Memorial and Verona square off. The coach of the Wildcats, Dave Richardson, a Memorial grad. That'll be a good game on Friday.
Yes, definitely. I think Dave, we know who Dave's pulling for in this one. Definitely not the alma mater. But you have to take a look at Verona. Jake Hauser last week passed for 3 touchdowns. And Tyler Parker, running back, he rushed for a number of scores early against Sun Prairie. He's now catching the ball in the backfield. He had 2 touchdown catches last week.
Yeah, they sure went to the air last week. And, of course, this game for Verona sets up a huge game next week as Verona goes to Middleton. Middleton's still unbeaten in the conference. A lot of people feel that'll be kind of the conference showdown game. So a lot at stake for Verona not to look ahead past the Spartans Memorial.
Especially with Middleton and Parker both unbeaten. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
Nope. So that's our game of the week here on madison.com. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. here at Verona. It'll be Madison Memorial and Verona, and we look forward to bringing that one to you with highlights and interviews after the ball game. And, of course, don't forget to check out our madison.com live blog Friday night as we give you scores and updates from throughout the area. For Dennis Semrau, I'm Rob Hernandez. We'll see you at the stadium.